Today, we are talking about a massive breakthrough in the ongoing war against superbugs. We've got a brand new weapon in our arsenal called Gepotidacin, and believe me, it's a big deal. Why? Because it's the first new oral antibiotic for urinary tract infections to hit the scene in over 20 years. This is exactly the kind of innovation we love to cover here. Welcome to Microscopic Marvels. So let me ask you something. What if you got a simple urinary tract infection? Something incredibly common. But the antibiotics your doctor prescribes, they just don't do anything. This isn't some sci-fi movie plot. It's the very real and very scary reality of antibiotic resistance. It's a crisis that's unfolding right now. So here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with a superbug crisis, then get into why our old antibiotics are failing. After that, we'll introduce Gepotidacin, break down its awesome double-lock mechanism, look at the proof that it works, and wrap up with a high-yield summary that's going to be perfect for your exams. All right, let's dive right in with Section 1, the superbug crisis. This is the whole reason a drug like Gepotidacin isn't just cool science, it's absolutely essential. So here's the problem in a nutshell. Bacteria are smart. I mean, really smart. Bugs like E. coli, which cause most UTIs, are constantly evolving. They're developing new tricks to survive our drugs, turning into these so-called superbugs. And that means our best medicines, the ones we've relied on for decades, are starting to fail. But how did we even get to this point? That brings us to Section 2. To really appreciate the new kid on the block, we've got to understand why the old hero of this story is, well, failing. And it's a class of drugs I guarantee you've all studied. I'm talking about the fluoroquinolones, drugs like ciprofloxacin. For years, these things were the heavy hitters. Their whole job was to go after two crucial enzymes, DNA gyrase and Topoisomerase 4. These enzymes are what bacteria use to untangle and copy their DNA. So if you stop the untangling, you stop replication, and you stop the infection. It was simple, and it was effective. For a while. Now, think about it like this. If the antibiotic is the key, the bacterial enzyme is the lock. The huge problem we're facing today is that the bacteria have literally figured out how to change the locks. And our old keys, they just don't work anymore. So how exactly do they pull this off? Well, fluoroquinolones, they kind of have a favorite. They tend to go after either DNA gyrase or topoisomerase 4. The bacteria are clever. They exploit this. All they have to do is mutate that one specific binding site. Just change its shape a little bit, and bam, the drug can't grab on anymore. And listen up, because this is a huge point for your Viva exams. This preference for a single target, that's the Achilles heel. It's the chink in the armor that bacteria have been exploiting for years. But what if you had a drug that didn't need the old lock? A drug with a totally new key. That brings us to Section 3. Let's introduce Gepotidacin. This is our new hope. So meet Gepotidacin, brand name Blujepa. It's in a completely new class called Triazaacenaphthylenes. Yeah, it's a mouthful. But what's important is that it's the first of its kind. And I can't stress this enough. It's the first novel oral antibiotic for UTIs in more than 2 decades. It's approved for uncomplicated UTIs and also incredibly important, uncomplicated gonorrhea. Okay, now for the main event. This is the core of our explainer and pretty much a guaranteed exam question. Section 4, the double lock mechanism. This is Gepotidacin secret weapon. First, just a super quick recap of our targets. You've got DNA gyrase, which unwinds the supercoiled bacterial DNA. Then you have topoisomerase IV, which snips the 2 new DNA copies apart after they're made. The best way to think of them, they're like a pair of essential molecular scissors that are constantly cutting and rejoining the DNA. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The old way, the fluoroquinolones, they preferred one enzyme over the other and used this kind of flimsy water-metal ion bridge to bind. The new way with Gepotidacin is a whole different ballgame. It targets both enzymes with equal power, and it binds directly to a totally new, unique pocket on the enzymes. No metal bridge required. So let's walk through it. Step 1. Gepotidacin finds this brand new pocket, totally bypassing the old mutations that block other drugs. Step 2. It creates that double lock, essentially freezing both of those molecular scissors at the exact same time. For a bacterium to beat this, it needs 2 different mutations to happen at once. The odds of that are, well, they're tiny. Step 3, this freeze up causes single-strand breaks in the bacterial DNA. And finally, step 4, with its DNA all chopped up, the bacterium can't replicate, it dies. That's a true bactericidal effect.
So if you're looking for that perfect multiple choice question point, here it is. Tattoo this on your brain. Gepotidacin works on fluoroquinolone-resistant bacteria because it binds to a completely different spot on the enzymes. The old ways of resisting just don't apply anymore.
Okay, the theory is beautiful, right? But the real question is, does it actually work in real people? Time for section 5. Let's look at the clinical evidence. The proof is in the pudding, or in this case, the clinical trials. For UTIs, you had the EAGLE-2 and EAGLE-3 trials. They put Gepotidacin head-to-head with Nitrofurantoin, a current standard of care. The results? It was just as good, and in one trial, even better, especially against those pesky resistant E. coli strains. And for gonorrhea, the EAGLE-1 trial was a total game changer. Just look at that number, a greater than 92% cure rate for uncomplicated gonorrhea. This gives us a powerful, effective oral option for an infection where resistance has become a truly terrifying global threat. This is a huge win for public health. All right, let's bring this all home and get you ready for your exams. Section 6, the high-yield summary. This is everything you need all boiled down.
This table right here, this is pure gold for revision. Look at the key differences. Class, old school versus brand new. Binding site, flimsy metal bridge versus a solid novel pocket. Target, one or the other versus a balanced dual attack. DNA damage, double-strand breaks versus single-strand breaks. And the real kicker, the bottom line, cross-resistance. Huge problem for the old drugs, but for Gepotidacin, nope, none. It works where the others fail.
If you only remember one sentence from this entire explainer, please make it this one. This is your ultimate revision note. Gepotidacin is a first-in-class antibiotic with a novel dual-target mechanism that bypasses quinolone resistance. That single sentence nails its class, its mechanism, and why it's so important. And that is the amazing story of Gepotidacin, a genuine new hope in our fight against superbugs. If you like this video, then please like, comment, and subscribe.